Welcome to the next video in the AEVIT 2.0 series. In previous videos, we went over the AEVIT display, but haven't touched on which functions can be controlled. So let's take a look at secondary functions and their control options. When you look at the home screen of the display, you'll see functions that are primarily found around the steering wheel, like your headlights, your blinker, or your wipers. And when you switch to the aux menu, you'll see the programmable auxiliaries. Option A has 4, and B and C have 1. These auxiliaries can be programmed to whatever function you want them to be. Sometimes you'll see them set as your mirror controls. But if you're someone who only sets your mirrors once, then I recommend you set these auxiliaries as something different. There have been some misconceptions that when you install a high-tech system into a vehicle, you have to forfeit some of the original functions that came with it. This isn't the case with AEVIT. AEVIT will never make any of the original functions inactive. It may only change the activation point. So say you bought your van because it has heated seats, and those would really come in handy on those chilly mornings. But if you can't activate the OEM switch, you could always set the activation point as one of your auxiliaries. This goes for things like your wheelchair ramp, your transfer seat, rear wiper, tow mode, or even your sunroof. And that's just a small list of things you could program. One popular function that has come about in recent years is the push to talk. This function uses voice commands to control a connected phone for calling or music, or the onboard navigation and radio. It's typically located on the steering wheel, and if you're not using the OEM wheel to control your vehicle, it's kind of hard to activate. So this would be a great function to have as an auxiliary. Though there are a few functions that cannot be controlled through AEVIT, like parking assist or other functions that take control of the vehicle. These can only be used in able body mode because of how the system interfaces with the vehicle's controls. If you're worried about activation through the display because you don't want to or you can't operate the display while driving, then you can always have a physical button be your activation point. We have these wireless magnet boxes and low effort switches that can be placed anywhere in the vehicle and are super easy to use. We also have a few options for button mounts. We have the Gen X button mounts that can go onto the side or the top of your Gen X display. And we have single button mounts that can go on the display, on an input device, or anywhere in the vehicle that has a smooth surface. We are also able to create custom accessories for activation points. In the past, we created an L-shaped magnet box that was able to mount directly onto the user's wheelchair. It controlled his AVPS system, voice command, digitone, and easy lock. When you have multiple functions you want to control, the digitone is a great controller. The digitone is an audible 8-function switching device, and when activated, it sounds out 8 different tones. And each tone indicates a different function. You simply hold down your activation point until the desired tone is reached and then release. And this scan rate can be faster or slower. When you're setting up the digitone, you have to understand how the secondary functions are configured. We've had people call and ask for windows, horn, blinkers, headlights, cruise, wipers, door locks, and e-brake. Now that sounds like 8 functions, but they actually asked for about 13. To break it down, they asked for the driver window, the passenger window, the horn, left blinker, right blinker, hazards, headlights, cruise set, cruise on, wipers, wiper wash, all door locks, and the e-brake. It can be a little confusing. So when you're prescribing the digitone, make sure you talk to our EMC sales team about which functions you want to program. There are a great amount of functions that can be controlled through AEVIT and many different ways to control them. For more information, head over to our website or contact the EMC sales team. They're always happy to talk about which products can make your ride more comfortable and functional.